Good evening. Yeah, today I'm brighting, or this evening I'm brighting. I'm excited. I am everything positive because I'm sitting with the most wonderful women every Monday evening. We have big conversations. We delve into conversations that I know is very difficult for us women to have, but it has become imperative for us to have it. So please join me. This is The Dish on on MX24. My name is Miriam Mensah. This is The Dish, the best television station in the capital. You can argue with your phones, by the way, okay? Well, as always, we bring you thought-provoking discussions, empowering perspectives on women's issues, and a focus on global development. Come along as we continue to elevate women's voices. And I always tell you that these conversations, we don't only have conversations with women, we have it with progressive women. And this evening is no difference. I want to say big thank you to Decozone for this very beautiful set. This set is put together by Decozone. I tell you that, listen, if you want that house to be a home, when you're sitting in the office and you're thinking, because me fear for me. You want that house to be so beautiful, so welcoming to you and even the wonderful people in your life. Just go to Decozone, grab those pieces and thank me later. Epiglow says that, listen, if your skin is struggling, I was just telling my guests that they used to tell me that my skin is struggling, my skin is crying. Get you a cream that takes care of the skin, your face. And I keep warning you, it's a warning. Don't use that cream you are using on your body, on your face. Stop it. It is criminal. It's unacceptable. Don't do it. Well, Epiglow says they have everything for you for your beauty routine. They have something amazing for you. Just go to Epiglow, grab you a cream for your face and the entire body, and thank me later. I want to say big thank you to Gino, Telecel, Cowbell Coffee, and Betway. The hashtag is The Dish on MX. So if you want to send us a message, you want to write a post about something amazing we discussed on the show, just tag us on hashtag The Dish on MX on all social media platforms. We're diving into a thought-provoking conversation, and today's theme or topic for the day is women gaining power or simply visibility. When you hear women gaining power, what do you hear? Do you hear people, oppressors coming? Or do you hear women about to take on a very important task to help build this big conversation of being included in big conversations? Well, are women truly gaining power and influence, or are they just becoming more visible? People are just seeing women in high places and it looks nice. They're looking, when they come in, nice wigs, nice hair, nice nails. Is that all this is about? Or this is about just gaining power and owning it and, in fact, effecting change that we need in the society? Well, today we're going to get into this conversation. I'm telling you, the women seated here, okay, they have had major impacts in every space they found themselves. One had a direct impact on me. The other is still having impact on me. So, you know, the experience is personal. So join me. My guest, they already seated. Linda Mensah is CEO of Covered Cosmetics, and also Black Cherry Makeup. Good evening, lady.
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm good.
You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
She was covered here. She came in covered.
And I brought you covered. You're gonna
See why I love my job. You know that social media thing?
Yeah.
We'll do it. Unboxing will be happening very soon. Thank you so much, baby girl. Thank you. Oh, I love this. And then I have my beautiful, she's not just a friend, she's a sister. I've known this woman practically my entire life. Ever since I opened my eyes and started having friends, this woman has been here. Beautiful morning show host on Joy. She is part of one of the big union houses in Ghana. So, you know, she's got influence and everything. Sweety Aborchie.
Mimi.
Mimi,
can I hold your gift for you?
This one, sisterhood is not inside. Leave us alone. Sweetie, it's so good to see you.
No, I was just
I wish I could just fly and
you.
give you a hug. Let's go. Don't be too jealous. Take your own. I love you girls. I love you girls.
We love you. Thank you
so
for
much.
inviting.
No, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. When I looked at the topic we're going to look at, I said, no better person. No better person or no better duo than these. These women have had direct impact in every space they found themselves, from business to in fact, being friends with her as a young girl was how do I, an image booster. Yeah, and I say that humbly. Also, it was, you know, when you're friends with someone who's like the brightest in the class, you know, you have to step up your game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
what.
that's not true.
That's not true. You know,
You were the brightest.
you know that was the truth. She's come to down and lie here. Don't lie here. But ladies,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming.
Thanks
Let's
for
delve into the
calling.
conversation before they catch us and beat
Yeah.
us for what we are doing now. What does it mean for a woman to gain power? And I wrote this one down. In today's society, when you look at how things are going, how women are evolving, what does it look like when we say a woman has power or has gained power? And how do you think society welcomes that? I'm going to start with you, Chrissy.
Why are you
Sweetie.
calling me Christy?
Sweetie, I'm
He
sorry.
hates Christy.
Thank you.
We don't like it.
No.
We don't like it.
No. When we talk about women gaining power, for me, it's not a question we can answer with the present. It's a question you answer by drawing references from where we came from. Years ago, women were not allowed to vote, to own property, to be seen in places. In fact, certain professions like law, it was a travesty of law for a woman to even want to defend herself in court. Coming down from that point where even going all the way back to hunter-gatherers, women were in the caves when the men would go out and go and gather the food and bring it to them, you know. Women were seen as feeble creatures that needed protecting, needed to be fed. Coming from that era to this point where we have women presidents, we have women CEOs, we have women business owners, we have women stepping into all arenas of power. The meaning is that there are two genders in this life. We have men and we have women. It means gradually women are stepping up to the position which I believe is natural, but our actions, and I'm not saying this to cast aspersion on men, but our actions, when I say our actions, I mean men putting us in a place, we are gradually coming out of that place. We are removing those boxes and shackles that men gave us and said, this is where you should be. Like you're supposed to be in the kitchen. You're supposed to do this. You should do this. Nobody should tell us what we can and cannot to do anymore. So that's what it means for me when you say that women are stepping into arenas of power or women are coming into their power. It means that nobody gets to tell us who we are not, what we can and cannot do anymore. We decide who we want to be, and we go be that.
And we own it. You feel the heat.
Oh,
See
come
where
on.
this is going to. Linda.
Well, I mean, Sweetie has said much. For me, what it means for a woman to have power is the woman has a right to her voice. The woman has power to her body. The woman has financial empowerment and economical empowerment as well. So now she has power to decide what she wears, how her body is, without feeling like she has to do it for another person. She has power to fend for herself, so she doesn't have to do things to please another person before she's being fended for. I mean, she has a voice, and then when she talks, people listen. So for me, that's what I think.
And you know, there's also the narrative that gaining power now brings you into the limelight. People are seeing a lot of women in different positions, like you mentioned. Now, women are everywhere. And it's almost like it's a taboo now when you're doing something without women. Like, where are the women here? Where's the, which kind of gender disparity be this one? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Where are the women? And people are asking, even men are asking for women to be included in certain conversations because we're visible now. That goal that we have achieved, or where we have gotten to now, do you think we're using it wisely as women? This one is out of my questions, okay?
No, it's okay.
Because I just felt it like, it's almost as if once we get the power, we forget why we got here.
You got
The why we went for this.
Yeah.
Do you think we're losing that?
No, not
We're
at
not.
all. We're not.
I love that.
Perhaps it might come across that way to people. Listen, we're not responsible for how people interpret your action. We're only responsible for the action itself, right? I think that for many, many young girls, seeing women step into these positions of power in no way influences their perception or broadens their horizon in terms of what they can also dream for themselves. I know that we talk about among ourselves and say women like to pull themselves down, women are this, women are that, but girl, aren't men too?
Yeah.
You know, but who's talking about that? It's because that they're not used to us women becoming all that and then using that power. Women are using that power to influence. How many female presidents do you know, Mimi? How many women presidents do we know? How many women CEOs do we know? You know, so we're not abusing that power, neither are we underutilizing it. We're using it for the right reasons. Talk about affirmative action in this country. Talk about abortion rights. Talk about so many things that ordinarily, if women were not at the fore fighting for those rights, those policies, it would have been elusive. But right now, we have those because women started saying, give us a piece of the pie. And the power that they gave us, we're using it to create more opportunities for the younger generation to come. So I agree with you when you say we are using it, but disagree with anyone who say that women are not using our power. Because, girl, I'm using my power. You're here using your power. You're using your power.
No, you're killing it out here. Yes.
That's what I think.
When we talk about leveraging on this power that has been given to us, we've talked about how now you can see that we're impacting the next generation. But are we really, and I want us to think deeply into this. Okay. When it comes to impacting the next generation, are we really leveraging on the power that we have to build a next generation that is super ready for whatever assignment it is that is ahead of them? So for instance, before now, the reason why we don't even have enough representation in parliament is because certain women were not prepared for this day. So they might have the desire. We might be asking for inclusion, but how many people held a woman's hand and said that, listen, in this community, we haven't had a woman MP, so we're putting you into this position. Go and vie for it. And she has enough passion to drive that. We have a good number of, it's better than before, but we could do better. But also, my argument is that it's because we didn't prepare. We prepared the women to be nurses, to be housewives, to be anything else but politicians. So now we're looking at women who have the urge or who have the need. Because when you look at the environment, like this area, we need a woman to drive this conversation, but who is prepared for it? So we see women in there, and we might be seeing a few mess-ups in positions and big scandals, including women, and we're like, is this not what we asked for?
There are always scandals. So sometimes I feel like we become a bit too hard on women, especially when women are in position. There are always scandals everywhere. Men have scandals. Everyone has scandals. It's a human behavior. So let's not just center on women and say when women become MPs, they are maybe a bit too emotional or they are disrespectful. But what is your definition of disrespectful? The woman is outspoken. She likes to correct people when they go wrong. A man will do the same thing and he will not be called disrespectful. But the woman does that the minute she calls someone out, then she is disrespectful. I mean, society judges women too much. And so from that aspect, I wouldn't say
you
that.
Don't agree with me.
No, I don't. So before you end that, I will not.
Out of my mouth.
It's a human behavior. Scandal is a human behavior, and everybody can be scandalous, whether you're a male or a female. So let's cut the women some slack.
Thank you for saying that. Cut us some slack. And I think it's an inverted pyramid, right? Which is actually not supposed to be so. We are coming from a place where most young girls cannot continue their education after a certain level because their parents perhaps cannot afford and they have to make a decision between the boy and the girl. Remember, we are Ghanaians coming from a deeply patriarchal society where the woman's place was constant. Homekeeping, childbearing, the other thing you do for the man, everything you do for the man, and for the home, And so when you say that I can do more than the homekeeping role that you've assigned to me, the men are looking on like, okay, come and do it and let's see. And so the moment you slip, they are there to punch loophole, the loopholes that you've created, forgetting that it's a human thing to do. So we are starting from the bottom up. We are slowly increasing the number of people who are highly educated, the number of women who are in positions of power, the number of women who can speak up and let their voices be heard, the number of women who can stand up to men and say, you, sit down. They have to sit. So it is slowly becoming, and Mimi, honestly, if you look at where we are coming from, men should really cut us some slack. Because they had the opportunity to be educated. They say, they'll sponsor you to do this, they sponsor you to do that. But the woman had to literally crawl. We had to crawl to get here. So it's 2025, I know. But even as far back as the 17th century, women were not seen and heard. You know what I mean?
Now, when
so
we come...
2025, it's too short a time for you people to be saying that we are not doing this, we're not doing
we
that.
have a lot
We've
of
come
men
so far,
that
but-
are also still, like, they feel threatened by women's success and everything. In 2025, we've not reached anywhere,
No.
because it will shock you that I'll have a conversation with a staff, like someone that works for me, and he'll be like, "You're a woman, don't talk to me like that." In modern day.
What do you say to people like
Yes.
that? Sorry.
In modern day. And
what
because
do you
it's my
say to
business,
people
I
like that?
fire you.
Ah, good.
I'm
that's
sorry,
a
we are not having a
conversation.
conversation. No, we are not having a conversation.
Because if it's to make my business,
Go
my
to
hand and
who
money...
you want to talk to you like that.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, you prepared yourself to occupy that position of power
Yes.
as a woman.
Yes,
so on
it's
what
my
basis
business.
does that person come to say you are what, disrespectful?
No,
Boy,
you're
bye.
a woman. You can't talk to me like that. You know, there are a lot of African men that would say that, and they still say that till date. And I have experienced it. So honestly, I won't say 2025 we've gone far. We still have a lot to do.
Work to do. I was having
Let me
this...
just add one last thing before we go. By the time men would have reached maybe 5 kilometers in terms of progress for the agenda, women are only now catching up from about 2 or 1 kilometer. You see what I mean? Because the systems are already designed against us. There are just two categories of people in this world. You're either male or female. Well, I know that there's a whole conversation about non-binary gender, what male
we don't
presenting.
subscribe to that. We cannot...
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the beginning of days, women were put in a place. So if we are crawling, let us crawl. If we are walking, allow us to walk. If we decide to run, clap and cheer us on. Don't start there and be chastising us because you think we are supposed to do it a certain way.
I had a conversation with one of my favorite people, and this is a man, so we're talking, and he was like, Mimi, I think your gender is missing it. When you go all the way, so okay, thank you. Sit up. I'll come to break your heart. He said, so back in the day, when you're thinking about who is supporting the politicians, giving them money, who owned the big businesses, it was all women. Now, this conversation of women to be included in big conversations, because he lived a good part of his life in the UK. He says when you go to some of those European countries, women are still having less salaries because they're women. Those things don't really happen here. Like, how many girls are in the office with a man and in a higher position, but she's paid less than the man in that position? It doesn't happen as often here. And when you look at who is seen the most, when they walk into a room, they'll be like, don't, or your bar men yenisa, or your bar men yenisa. We misinterpreted it as we being called weak, but rather the men were taking the position as men and leaders to allow the women to be treated like babies. And he said, look at it from this side. So on the positive side, this part of the world, Africa, has always had who was leading the biggest wars? Yasantua. All these women were leading because maybe there was not a lot of them, but there were women who were allowed to be what in the Western world, women were not allowed to be that. Like women war leader, how? It was never a case.
Yeah.
So when we are judging how men see women now and the fight we are fighting, we should fight it. We should be measured in our fight.
Mimi, let me jump in here.
Go ahead.
We are not fighting for anything.
Okay.
We are asking that.
But with this explanation, what do you think?
This is let me get here.
Okay.
So I think that you are right. Women were already leaders. Women were already able to control the big conversations and all that. And what men are alluding to is soft power of women. You know, our ability to influence, our ability to make men make decisions in our favor when they don't know that we are actually manipulating their minds and all that. But at the end of the day, we don't want to be men. No. I don't want to be a man. I know you don't.
You don't want to. You like being speaking soft and nice. Nobody cares about being a man.
We want to be feminine and all that. Our biology is even different. I don't think I'm stronger than any man.
Nope.
Neither do I think that I don't need a man.
No.
What we're asking for is equity. For example, there are companies, I know you said that it's rare to find a woman who's paid less than a man just because she's a woman. But there are companies who won't hire a woman because she'll probably get pregnant and come and waste 6 months of my money.
I heard that before.
You've heard that before?
I've heard that
Do you think any man, do you think this will be a criteria to hire a man to say that he's probably going to get pregnant and going to waste my 3 months of pay for maternity leave and all that? She's going to get on her period and she's going to stress us or something. in this day and age, when the work world has evolved, companies do not have systems in place to cater for the needs of women. By that I mean maybe infirmaries that have sanitary pads and heat pads and stuff for the woman to feel comfortable, because naturally our bodies need to go through those processes every month. Naturally, when you give birth, you have to spend time with your child. You're both mothers,
Yes.
you know. How many companies have nurseries? How many companies have, you know, systems in place, have machinations in place to support the woman with all her biological, you know, additions that comes on that's sometimes the criteria to be disqualified for certain roles and positions.
I was asked when I'm intending to get married, if it's soon, I cannot be.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me that?
Yes, yeah, I
you
was
know,
asked
why
that.
are you asking me that?
Because you're a woman.
Yes,
Yeah.
when I get married, I'll
You get pregnant.
At most 1 year, I'll get pregnant,
Yes.
so it won't work.
My God, it kills me. I'm like visibly shaking
I can
right
tell,
now.
I
It
can
kills
tell.
me because men never get judged because of their biology. If anything, they are hailed and praised for it. But we get chastised, we get criticized. You know, we get sidelined because of it. Back to the issue about, what was it about? The women were already in positions of power. We are still very much in those positions. Many men think they're the ones pulling strings here and there, but it is the women that slowly subtly influencing them and all that. We are not saying that we want to give away that power and become men and tough and have muscles and do that. We are saying that because we are different naturally, where I lack, push me up. You know, so it is equity we are asking for, not equality. That's what I think. So we are still in those positions of power, but we are saying if I can do more, give me the opportunity to do more. Back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know last week I was told there are some, you know, fantastic gentlemen that join us on the show, because this show is supposed to be tailored for women, but these men watch to empower themselves, to understand how women think. So thank you, my G's, for watching, okay? Social media has become a space where both genders are there exploring and experiencing power in one way or the other. And so as women, we have decided to use what we have. The beauty, some are showing skin, being extra visible in ways that maybe society, even this our society might not appreciate, but we're there. Can we change the narrative where we're turning this opportunity of technology into power to drive what we are asking for? If we're asking for equity, if we're asking for wise visibility that will in turn impact our generation positively. If we're not doing that yet, because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, do you think we're taking advantage of this opportunity? Because I think what I want to say is, I'm trying to.
But honestly, I feel like we still have a long way to go, because most of the young women in Africa were not raised to look for power without decentralizing men. Everything that most African women do, men are centralized. So we have to learn how to decenter men from our actions. Then when the woman is on social media, she will not come on social media to come and sell something that would say charm or attraction or blah, 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 blah.
Because her whole, to get a man.
Yes, because her whole life growing up, she has been told that before she will reach self-actualization, it has to be with a man. So it starts from the root. Now, we can't just move from there instantly. A few women who have been groomed well know that, okay, now I have a voice. I am me without necessarily having to attract a man's attention. I don't have to show my skin to attract a man's attention. I don't have to show my skin to make money. I can set up a business, run a business, get people to patronize my business and make money. So I decentralize men from it. Then we can act right. But no, it's because of our upbringing. And for that, we need a lot more women to be educated right from the start. So for me, I always teach my children to be to feel like they're good enough. They don't even need my permission to do stuff. And I always tell them I give them options to choose. I don't tell them that this is what you're doing. So by the time they grow up, they always know that they have options and they are not being forced to do things a certain way.
That's powerful.
No.
I'm learning.
I like that.
So she's not going to grow up and say that she has to get married before she will be good enough. If she doesn't want it, it's up to her. It's her decision. She is good enough. She can live her life. She can be happy. I teach them how to be happy on their own. You can be in the house, do whatever you want to do. Just be happy.
Just be happy.
Just be happy.
I like that.
You don't have to let anybody tell you that you need to have A, B, C, D before, but because that's how we were raised. My mom is 77. Everything you do, she'll be like, a man has to hold you. I'm like, I don't want to use the word, but I'm like, can you please stop this?
You know, it's like you rightly
So
said,
that everything.
it's deep rooted in where we come from. We're going to continue, but my producers need us to go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, the conversation continues. You see how subtle but very wise and pressing is pressing your neck. I can feel it. But we need to have these conversations because we women have to do better. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. You're welcome back to The Dish on MX24. My name is Miriam Mensah. You're welcome. Well, we've been having this wonderful conversation pertaining to women. Of course, it's The Dish. We're talking about women, okay? A big thank you to Decozone for this wonderful set. Tyler Sell, Gino, Cowbell Coffee, and of course, my wonderful friends from Epiglow. They say that skin deserves to be pampered. Grab yourself an Epiglow product and thank me later. Back in the studio, my guests are already seated. In fact, they have been giving me, the wisdom being taught on this show today, Harvard University has to pick this show up and teach, and then call them as guests. I'll be going there with my grace to go and support them.
Miriam,
because
you're a character.
Now, where you wanted to touch on something quickly before we get into our next
Something
question.
you said, it skipped me, but I remember what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Also, how real can we get with this conversation?
No, super real.
Because I think
That is what this is about.
I think you have something about social media and women
Yes,
leveraging. And,
That,
I don't know, something you said that clicked me. I wanted to say this emphatically, that women are a business. Believe it or not, women are a business. Women are in high demand. And by that I mean, from days, as long as the Bible days, women were given to men because we have something that men want. And if you play your cards right, the men will do whatever you want to get that something. Knowing that, many young people already understand that they have one item or one element about themselves that if all else fails, at least I'll find a man who wants that and can give me what I want. So you hear things like, even if I don't get a job, even if I don't do this, or if I find a man who can do this for me, they'll do that. So even before the days or the age of social media or in this fourth industrial revolution, women were a business. So we were talking about, I think, using the bottles and skin and stuff on social media, leveraging that to get what you want. And I just want to say that, who's telling the men to stop the hookup? Who's telling the men, if women are hoeing, women are selling all that, who are we selling it to? If women are doing all that, showing the skin and on social media, it's because there's a market out there for it. You and I, we all know that there are holier than thou girls who dress from head to toe.
Like me. With my how many men follow them on social media? How many women even follow them on social media?
I was having a conversation with a friend, and I had never really taken a full video of myself to post on social media. Like, I barely do that. So when I went to Dubai for the Women Expo, and then I took
And by the way, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Great job, girl.
Thank you. So I took a full video. That was like one of the only videos I've taken of my full set, and you should see the comments from men.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Because there's a demand.
So it's like
women
that
will
video alone
continue
is
to
selling.
supply. yes, that's it. So I'm not saying that, I'm not endorsing nor encouraging women to use their body parts to get, elevation in whatever form or shape it takes. But I'm saying that it's because there are people who want it. There are people who encourage it. There are men who would only give you money when they see some boobs. You know what I mean?
But I don't think we should leverage on that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to establish that even before the digital age, women were a business.
Yeah.
So then the question about if we are actually doing it right by leveraging the skin and all that. I don't think that is where it comes down to. But there are some women who genuinely, they are unable to use their wits and other skills to make the money or boost their businesses the way that others are blessed to have or able to do. So they fall on that. And I really think that the message should go to the men, right? That you shouldn't only pay attention to a woman when she's naked. Come on. I am more than here and here. I'm here.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I'm speaking to men and I see their eyes darting, I'm like, I'm here. Hello.
Look into my eyes.
Yeah, I'm here.
The conversation is being had here.
Because it all comes down to demand and supply. So if we want to eradicate the nudity on social media, the men have to stop buying it then. You get what I mean? Let's not just chastise the women on social media. Why do you think so many women are putting in bottles and
because there's demand for it.
They'll come and tell you that I'm doing it for myself for self-confidence, but
not.
you know that's the
But I mean, self-confidence means that when she goes out, she knows that dude is going to look at her.
Me that I have a flat,
you don't want to look at me.
So I'm just saying to end on the point that we need a deep systemic reorientation of mindset, not just of women alone, but of the men too. Because at the end of the day, we are two genders. The sexes, not genders, sexes, man and woman. And the women are doing these things because the men have created a market for it. That's why we're doing it.
I like what you said. If all else fails, they know what to feel about it.
I quickly want to reflect on something Sweety said. She said some women are not blessed to have, I don't want to say...
I think what she said was, are not blessed to use.
Because we all got it.
We all have it.
We all have it.
Use.
True. So that's what I
was going to
wanted
correct
say.
you, and I said, no, she said use.
Yeah, so everyone can do something. But I think the orientation is more about how we're started. I feel like most women grow up feeling lazy. So it's not like, because we all have common sense, okay? I'm telling you that sometimes I feel like women are even more smarter than men. I'm sorry, but women are instincts and everything, like...
When you are not paying attention, your instinct is paying attention.
If I see a woman in a managerial position, the company thrives so much and less risk is taken and everything. So I learn a lot from women in managerial positions more than I do with men, by the way. And so I think that every woman is smart, but we grow up feeling so lazy. The generation now, they're lazy. So is the...
Wait, when you say the generation now, you mean Gen Zs, millennials, or zillennials?
Gen Z,
because I'm a zillennial, I'm right in the middle.
I'm in between Gen Z and millennials.
I'm a millennial. So I'm a millennial, so I'm talking about you girls.
Okay.
Because now I feel like they want the fastest and the quickest thing. Like, they don't want to be bothered. Soft life is good, but use your brains. You can live a very soft life by using your brains. Trust me. If you want a high value man, I'm not even, I'll try and decentralize it later, but just like you're saying, because there's a market for it, and so they're doing it. Even if you want to do that, you need to add some, to it. Price it. I'm sorry. Yes. No, don't.
Do I like where this conversation is going?
No, don't put it on social media, my darling. Show that you're smart, but in a nice and a feminine way, and that even attracts men. A soft-spoken woman attracts men. A woman that is fully covered also attracts men. So you can't say that, oh, I need to be naked before I will attract some man. No, women should
we're still on the social media base.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So a woman can be covered, fully covered and everything, and will still attract a man. So no, we shouldn't use our visibility and say that all in the name of I want to attract a man, I want to get money, and even if I don't get any job, doing that will bring me some money. No.
And lastly, Mimi, before we move on, I think that it also comes down to strategies, right? And we don't teach strategies in this part of the world. When you go to school, nobody taught you about financial literacy, did they?
No.
We had to learn these things on our own. Nobody taught you that there's a way, something called critical thinking. Me, until I got to high school, or I think it was university.
I studied critical thinking in university.
Know that, oh, critical thinking. Meanwhile, when I was teaching balanced literacy, it's a workshop module. So it's like Montessori. It's called balanced literacy. I was teaching that when I was in high school. Those children were learning critical thinking. They were learning about read aloud. There's a whole, curriculum to it.
And this conversation goes way deeper than it.
Girl. So, I think that we know now. So let's also use our platforms to show the women that we did it without necessarily giving out the cuckoo. But but Mimi, I didn't. There's no man, and I can say this, there's no man anywhere who can say that if not for me, Sweety Aborchie would not be.
Who are you?
Who are you? I have God, and that's on period.
Yes.
And I didn't have to compromise my values to do it.
Totally.
Never, not once.
Totally.
So I use my platform to show young women, to elucidate, the importance of sticking to your values and still getting, achieving your goals. So yes, if you're on social media, you have a business, you have a service, please don't use your body.
Just learn how to be responsible for yourself. That's how I see it. Learn how to be responsible
this
for
one that
yourself.
you're saying, I'm going to let us wrap up on this one because we have more questions for you. You have to be responsible for yourself.
Yes.
The society, we need to there's a whole mind shift or whatever it is that we're recommending. There is that bit. But as a woman, you need to be responsible for the things that you do and the decisions that you take. If you look at another woman and you see what they're doing and you like, are you thinking about what it might take for them to be there? If you're seeking power and visibility, or power that will give you visibility, how are you going about it? If it fails, you should know that you caused it.
Yeah.
You went about it the way you went about it. It was all your decision. Taking responsibility is one of the things that I would like our audience to pay attention to. When it fails, nobody made you fail.
No.
You made those decisions.
Salvation is individual, baby girl.
Yeah.
Even if the system is failing you, you are succumbing to that system.
I mean, we all, grew up in the same system, but we're here.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, sometimes when people talk about you have to do things to get to where, I cannot relate because I'm like, what are they talking about? Because all through my life, I have always wanted to do things for myself.
Yeah.
I don't want, I want to do it.
Yes.
I want to go grab it. It's not like...
I think there are two types of... I genuinely think that some people were born with that drive, that independence of mind and thoughts, and some people were not born with it.
Yeah, I believe so too.
I believe so too. Because you were born with that. I could just relate because I don't know how to sit down and twiddle my thumbs
and wait.
No, I don't know how to do that. But some people are there, they won't move a finger.
You know, one of the reasons why I went into entrepreneurship is because I wanted to get things done on my own. I studied accounting.
Yeah.
I worked in an insurance company, and I realized that in the company, the women will have to do things with the men before they get positioned. I was like, no, I don't want to be
That's
here.
not going to be me.
Bye.
Okay,
So I'm gonna
now
do
let's
my
move
own
on. Let's move on,
business.
ladies. We've dwelled on this one for too long, but I know that it's been very. We've gone around it and touched a very important aspect of it, which I really appreciate. Now, how can women balance the need for visibility, for visibility, with the potential risk of scrutiny and criticisms that come with it? I want people to know me. I want people to know that I am Mimi. Now me this. But then, am I thinking about what it could come with? How are we able to make this balance?
This one I want to get a bit up personal, which I rarely do. The work we do, TV,
Yes.
I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah.
I've always had this innate desire to be known as Sweety Aborchie. Somehow I'm here now. And boy, it is tough. Because everyone has an opinion about you. Because you put yourself there.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the visibility, and I'm getting the criticism, and I'm getting the scrutiny, and I'm getting it. So if you're asking about balance, this is where I draw the line in being grounded in your values.
Yeah.
If you're a person of faith, in your faith. Because at the end of the day, people will be people. They will judge, they will scrutinize, they will criticize, they will talk about you, they will backbite, they will do all that. If you want to be seen, then do the work so that even if they're talking about the excesses, they cannot take away the value that you bring on board. So you can talk about, she wore a dress and she had an open whatever, but did you hear me though? Did you hear the question I asked? Did you hear how I scrutinized that's MP? Did you get what I'm saying? I don't think it comes down to balance. It comes down to being grounded. What are the core values? For me, it is excellence. I want to excel at the work. So I know that I'm a woman, I'm a human being. Things will happen. I'll fail at some point. But you will never be able to say that I am only there as, what's it called, like a furniture. What's the word for it? Like for the optics. You will never get to say that I'm there for the optics because I come with the force, I come with the value, I come with the job, I come with excellence.
For what you're doing.
I'm overqualified for what I'm doing. So if you're looking for balance between visibility and scrutiny, it's in being grounded in your faith, in your work, in your excellence, in your drive, in your own goals.
Do you feel the depth in what she's saying?
Yeah, you have to be grounded. Mimi, we get lost sometimes when we have so many people watching us and many people saying,
I'm serious.
We get lost. We get lost.
It's not easy.
It's not.
It comes hand in hand. Visibility, criticism, scrutiny, it comes hand in hand. You can't really run away from it. So, like Sweety said, you have to be grounded.
Yeah. What is it? What are your
What are
anchors?
your
Me, it's
values?
God. My anchor is God. Like God is number one.
Completely.
I don't care. Like
I don't want to know.
What? Oh, really? Thank you. God bless you. I'm off. Like, I don't care. But if God speaks to me and says, Sweetie, you need to be humble. Okay, I'll call you and I say, but maybe the way I spoke to you was not, the best I could have done. But, it was a human thing. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm not a modest person. I don't know what modesty is. And I listen to Maya Angelou say the same thing. I don't know what modesty is. I'm confident. I'm a very confident person. I walk into a room and I let my aura just attract the people I want to talk to for me. I am humble in my spirit because I know I'm a child of God. But modesty, that is when someone says, oh, you're very good at the thing you did is very good. And you're like, oh, really? No, I know I did a good thing. Because I did
That's not a typical Ghanaian woman trait.
And men hate that shit.
She cast. The first one for the day.
Anyway, so I'm just saying, get your anchors and remain grounded. That's the only way you get, that's the only way you get a balance. I don't know about your industry, but I also know that it comes with a lot of attention. How do you, I'm curious to hear how you
personally, I think my trick is
I'm
confidence.
sorry, see what I'm doing?
I was going to make her finish answering. Why are you cutting me? Let her finish answering. So we'll ask you, between you and I, who is the host of the show? Let me know. So that I'll just call my boss. And so we can move on. Oh my God. It's okay. It happens. Because then again, you are in your head. You're also a host like, okay, so can I?
I'm so sorry.
It's normal. It's normal.
I would like to reflect on what Sweety said. First of all, my values are very important to me. I'm a Jesus girl.
Oh, okay.
The company is called Jesus Baby. It's called Jesus Baby Company Limited.
So I'm really grounded in that. So no matter how much I get exposed, I do not forget that I'm a Jesus baby. I cannot follow what everybody is doing just because I'm trending, and so to get more attention, I will never do that. So before I post things, I'm looking at it, will this please my maker? I'm always laughing at myself. Hey, will this actually encourage somebody or let somebody feel like, okay, Christ is good?
Please hold yourselves. My producer is trying to get me to post a picture. Shebi, you have seen that picture. When you see it, does it praise God?
Which
Thank
picture?
you, Daphne.
Show me.
That picture, I have never posted. It will never show up on any of my social media platforms because it is not me.
It is you.
When you see me,
when I watch it is you.
It's not me. Please continue.
And then my other trait is I am very confident in myself. I'm a very confident young woman. I do what I do because I believe that that's what is supposed to be done.
Did you see how that
I do what I do because I know that's what is supposed to be done. Punchline.
So sometimes I feel like people get visibility and everything, so they like to follow trends, and you will never catch me following a trend. I'm too confident to follow a trend.
I've set my own.
Yes, I like to do my own stuff. I like to do my own things because I feel good doing it, because I feel like that's the best way to do it for my business, for my personality, for my money-making shenanigans and everything. Everything I do has to be personal for me. That's how I thrive. I don't go reading comments and then, okay, it's your opinion.
You know?
Yeah.
But let's not forget that there's power in visibility. There's so much power in influence. I mean, visibility brings influence. If nobody knows you, they're not going to even pay
They
attention
don't care about
to you.
you.
And so the way we frame it, we should be careful not to discourage people from, putting themselves in the limelight.
That is why I asked for the balance.
Yes.
Because the visibility, like you rightly just said, is needed.
Yes.
Because if we say women are being included, where? Where is it? Where's the evidence?
Yeah.
But then whilst in that, how are you able to stay on course without missing it? Because I've had conversations in this country with politicians who have told me that we women in politics, we are missing it. If we don't come together, we will miss all the hard work that we've put in. And so sometimes, you rightly said it, and I love what we're doing today. You hinted on the fact that truly, really and truly, we sometimes get there and we miss it.
Yeah, we do.
We forget why we are here. We forget the why we started this entire journey. So visibility is important, but are we able to stay on course?
Sometimes I think it's unnecessary modesty. Unnecessary modesty.
I like the unnecessary. Please go on.
Yes, because
Which
some
one is
women
unnecessary
get
modesty again?
because some women get in power and then suddenly they want to be everyone's favorite. You can never be everyone's favorite. You are there for a reason. Get the job done, honey. Don't be unnecessarily modest. Oh, no, I want them to love me. You missed the point.
Yeah.
You went there to get a job done. You're not going to be everyone's favorite person. So just get the job done. Then you know that, okay, you're fit for it. The next time there's a position, you're being called for it. So sometimes we miss it because when they get there, suddenly they change.
Talking about that, it pushes me to my last but one question, okay? How can we have women's voices be heard? Not just heard, respected.
By following through.
Okay.
When a woman says, give me the opportunity to lead this team because I can do it. And as a woman, knowing that you represent millions of women in that position who are fighting for something, make sure you follow through. Make sure you actually lead the team. And by leading the team, I don't mean go and shout because you are a woman in power. You know, there's this rhetoric about when a woman is in power, we are very, they want to bring down other women. Follow through. Whatever it is that your intentions are, if it's pure in the beginning, follow through and make sure that you're leaving that door open for the next woman. That way, when the next woman comes in and says, give me the chance, you won't even end on chance. And they'll say, yeah, we know because another woman came and she followed through. So we are sure that you follow through. So if women really want to be respected, if we want our voices to be respected, it is all in following through. We are asking for so much power, which ordinarily I don't think we should be asking for. But hey, it's our reality. We're asking for it. So when they give you, if you're fortunate enough to be given a bit of that power, follow through and leave the door open for the next woman.
And get the job done. It's very important. And then I also feel like just be a woman. Being a woman means that you're nurturing, you're supportive, you allow growth. So when you get into a position, it's not just about like what she said. I'm in position, so I want to act like a man so that a man will respect me. No, when you're a woman, when you're a true woman in your femininity, trust me, you will command respect without even shouting or asking for it. So if we get into position, let us be women, as nurturing as we can be, let's embrace our femininity and lead in that manner, and then get the job done.
Why are you shouting?
She's shouting.
She's shouting.
She's shouting. Tell her to stop shouting in this room. My boss is in my ear telling me that a lot of women do that. A lot of women, once they are in position, they are forced or tempted to be loud.
Because they feel like that's how they'll get the respect.
The minority, so you have to hear me. I'm here, but
you don't have to shout to be heard.
Thank you.
I'm not shouting. The gentleman can hear me. All I have to do is to talk sense.
Did you see what she did?
Talk sense.
You didn't see it. She said sense and gave an action. You didn't see it. You didn't catch it.
Was it a bombastic side eye?
Like sense. It has to be sense. Do you know what I mean?
You don't have to shout to be heard.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I also think, just lastly on
Yes,
this
yes, of course,
topic about how we can, earn the respect
Yes.
from not just the men, but other women.
Women too.
I think it also comes down to how, it comes down to how we relate to the men. There are some unspoken truths or unspoken laws between a man and a woman, how we relate, right? You talk about being feminine. Men, we know, they like to say that they like respect. They're not saying that, yes, sir, good morning and all that. Men have ego. Men have, they're
Natural.
men. Yeah. So while we are being women in positions of power, I think there's a way we can subtly open the minds of men to see that we are not here competing with them. We are not fighting for them. If anything, it's an appeal. I don't want to do this. No, it's an appeal saying that we have fought to be here. So if I am here, I'm not going to take away your madness. Rather, I'm going to combine my force. I'm going to combine and complement you. So the men don't feel threatened. The women who are shouting and do that is because the men or the system there is already frustrating them. And so they feel like they have to show out. But if you play your cards well and you let a man feel, let his guard down around you, he will help you. Listen, when a man writes for you,
you have arrived.
People,
when a man writes
like
for
when
you,
you enter into a space
You're good.
and you're feminine, the number of people that will be at your service, you would come and testify.
Yeah.
Just enter into a room and be a woman.
that's it. So
Everybody is going to pick a chair for you. They're going to clean the table for you just because you're being a woman.
And the other side is if you enter and do yourself, hey, who's there? Nobody will mind you.
No.
So it's in a relationship. It's in how you make the man feel. And it's also for women as well.
Your fellow women as
your
well.
fellow women. It's in the subtleties of how you relate with each other. And it's a finesse that is not taught. Like, nobody
It's
can
innate.
teach you that.
You have to learn
You have
and
to
be
learn
intentional
how to-
about bringing her out. And I'm going to testify to this before I wrap up the show. You said not only to women, to men too. Not to men, not only to men, but women too. I've had situations where, out of my own experiences, which by the way I was telling you about earlier, I was so scared and had trust issues that I got into a system and the young girls there were a bit, slow for me.
Okay.
And that was before I came here. I remember this scenario so well. So there was a time that the fast-paced me was just ordering and misbehaving around. Like I was really, and I proper was misbehaving around. Shouting, yelling, doing all of them things to the girls. And that's where I experienced gross disrespect.
Yeah.
Girls that were my little sister's age. You know my little sister. She's big and taller than you now. That's your junior sister. She's now taller than you.
Yeah.
I had girls less, in fact, lower than her in age disrespect me. I was like, what is this? Am I not doing this thing right? But I realized that grace you extend to another woman, it comes back to you as respect. And you don't know how much what that does to you. That also helps in building confidence.
Yes.
That also solidifies your visibility. Your being out here is solidified by other women.
Applauding you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Ladies, I think we have to do a part 2. My producer, part 2 of this one, okay? Same
This
guest,
is
I beg.
exciting.
But ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you so
before we wrap up, please, Covered Cosmetics is out with new brushes, makeup brushes. How do we get them?
Oh, you can go on our website, www.coveredcosmetic.com, or you can reach us on Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere.
I think you brought me some.
Yes,
it's part of the things you
I
brought me.
brought you.
So
So
you
we
for when
promise that every month we are going to release something new. That's our branching. So this is our 7th baby. and-
7th baby.
Yes.
It's our products. It's our brush. People, go and check out Covered Cosmetic website.
Yeah.
The products are there. Just grab you. This is a Ghanaian-owned company, and this is the individual behind it. Let's support her. For my ladies who watch the show, I'm telling you, these are products you can trust. She made it for the Ghanaian skin, so you know how that works. Sweetie, thank you.
No.
And we see what you do on the AM show. Keep doing you. Keep shining. She has conversations with big political women. What's that show called?
Women Power Politics.
Women Power
Every
Politics.
Thursday at 2 p.m. on the Joy News channel.
Please go and watch. For those young girls
Will I
who
be a
want
good
to.
politician?
You'll be a fantastic politician.
Politician, I know, ladies. Our producers will kill us, but thank you for coming. Watch her, and trust me, even I watch her for tips. Okay, so watch her on Joy News every morning. She's on there doing her thing. This lady's social media page is there. Please, I beg you, don't go there, because if you get there, you will be transformed.
I'm selling confidence and audacity.
And audacity. And I, right here, I do my thing on Mondays and every day.
Get your flowers, girl. You do it so well.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for always being a part of this show. I really appreciate you. And to my supporters on the show, my team, my entire team, you are absolutely amazing. To Decozone, to Epiglow, thank you for being my headline sponsors, making this show happen for me. I love you all so much, but they love your skin, and they say grab you an Epiglow product and thank me later. For Gino, Carbon Coffee, Telecel, Betway, thank you for coming on board this show. I really appreciate you. MX24 brings you nothing but the best, so stay tuned.
You are fantastic.